Hi, hola, namaste, Lost Canuck here, and just your average everyday backyard barbecue kind of guy. Today, for the big Super Bowl game tomorrow, I'm going to prep up this beautiful 15-pound Snake River Farms Gold Brisket. Yes, I splurged a few months ago and bought a nice Wagyu Gold Brisket. So anyways, let's take this beautiful brisket that you can see here, unwrap it, and turn it into this beautiful brisket, smoked for 21 hours. Keep watching and stay tuned. All right, so without further ado, roll the intro. Okay, so we got our brisket. Let's get the cryovac off here and trim her up for eating. Remember, I'm not a competition guy, so get her nice and trimmed up for a good eating brisket. I got a few people coming over tomorrow for some barbecue, so let's see what we can do here. So it's 15 pounds, and by the time we trim her all down, it'll probably be 12 pounds, 11 pounds in there. Depends on how the factory did that trimming. Jeff Cromer, if you're watching, if it's not trimmed right, I'm blaming you. Okay, well, you've seen me trim a brisket before. I'm not a pro, just your backyard barbecue guy, but we'll take this mohawk off here. Okay, now you feel for the hard fat. Yeah, there's your fat cap. There's your decal fat here. Just trim off some of the hard stuff, smooth her out a bit. And if you already know how to trim brisket, you can skip this part. It's pretty kind of boring watching a guy trim. Okay, so we're gonna go down, get rid of some of this fat, or hard fat here. And don't worry about the meat that I'm cutting off. We'll save that and make tallow. Melt it down for tallow. Okay, so you want to take her down to about 1/4 inch. Okay, on my pellet grill, I usually cook with the fat cap down, and I'll have a water pan underneath it. Like I say, I'm not making it for a competition. Just doing it for fighting the neighbors over. Okay, Snake River Farms, you didn't do too bad of a trimming job. And I'm not sure if you can see how well marbled this meat is, but it's amazing. And remember in my earlier trimming videos, it's much easier to take some of this fat down. You're cutting against the grain. And like I say, with a Wagyu like this brisket, it's really hard to screw it up because it's so well marbled. There's like a lot of nice looking fat all the way through the matrix on here. So yeah, gotta get this hard decal fat off. Okay, so there's your flat. Flat always cooks a little faster than the point. Well, because the point's nice and thick, and the flat, well, it's flat. Okay, well, that's about as far as I'm gonna go. I got down to about 1/4 here. Got all the hard decal fat off. Cut the mohawk off. So we're gonna put our binder on, and then our seasonings. So for the binder, on beef, I like to use this W sauce. It's Worcestershire sauce, or hold on, Worcestershire sauce. Say that 10 times fast. And then I'm going to use first layer of this Tailgater's Party Rub. It's by Sucklebusters. And then I'm going to use as the final layer this Meat Church Gospel Rub. So we're putting a first layer of savory down, a lot of salt in this one, some garlic and pepper, and then we're going to do a little sweet at the end, and this has got sugar. So let's get the binder on. All this does is hold the rubs in place. Since we're going to be on the smoker for about 20 hours or so, you don't even really taste this. But if it does add a little bit of flavor, it's actually, you can put this stuff on anything. Well, that's plenty. Plenty. Okay, so we're going to put our first layer of Tailgater's Party Rub down. This is really an all-purpose, I like this stuff. Now, some people wear a mask when they put this on. I may cough because it's got a lot of garlic in it. And again, this is a huge piece of meat, so don't be afraid about putting too much seasoning on it. Then you just pat it in. You want to get all the sides. Your rub also makes a nice crust on it as well. So that's our base layer. You can see it's sweating out a little bit. Now we're going to put our final layer of Meat Church Gospel. It's got sugar in it, so this will give the bark some nice color. Plus, again, I put the savory down, and now this is the sweet part. So I'm going to dry brine this in the fridge for a couple hours before I throw it out on the pit. Actually, we got about 6 inches of snow here today, so I got to go out and take care of the driveway here in a minute. Tell you what, whatever you're doing, Meat Church, for an anti-clumping agent, you're doing all right. Probably took, at least 3 pounds of meat or trim off. So this is about a 12-pound brisket. I'm going to smoke it low overnight at 200 out on the Lone Star pit. And then check it in the morning, check the bark. And then I'm going to bring it up to 275 after the bark's developed until I get an internal temperature, both the flat and the point, of at least in the 160 range. Okay. Then I'm going to wrap it with tallow, put it back out on the pit, let it cook until the internals hit about 200 to 205 Fahrenheit. And then I'll check it with the probe, meat probe, see how tender it is. That's how you go, by the tenderness. But usually in the 200-degree range is where you can take it off the pit. And then I'm going to leave it in my holding oven for at least 4 hours to rest. You don't want to eat it right away. You always want to let the brisket rest for a while, and it'll be more tender and juicy. And then it should be game time, and then we're going to eat. So I'm going to leave this in the fridge, like I say, for a couple hours while I'm outside plowing the driveway, and I will be back. And I'll leave links in the description below the video if you're interested in any of the stuff that I use, my trimming knife, my cutting board, the spices, W sauce, whatever, gloves, all that kind of stuff. So I'll see you down at the pit. Hey, hola. Lost Canuck here. I'm out in the barbecue barn here, and I'm just getting prepped up for the big Super Bowl game tomorrow, and I'm making myself up a little mix of pellets and chips. Now, some of you guys out there asked, hey, Lost Canuck, have you run the Smokinlicious pellets on your Lone Star? I have, only at a 33% mixture. Works fine. I took the failed pellets out of my blazing unit and I ran them all through the Lone Star, no issues. And then some of you asked, hey, have you tried it at 50%? No, I haven't, but today we're going to try it. So I'm going to make myself up a little mixture of, because I'm cooking a special brisket, Really nice Snake River Farms Wagyu one. So I'm going to take the Smokin Pecan pellets, which are awesome on beef, and mix them 50-50 with the Smokinlicious Oak chips. These are red oak chips, not post oak. I can't get a lot of post oak around here, but and these are Smokinlicious Minuto #4 chips. We're going to go 50-50. So let's make up a quick batch, and then as we smoke, I'll let you know how it turns out. And remember, it's 50-50 by volume. So 1 scoop pellets, 1 scoop chips. I'll make up about 40 pounds of that, enough to fill the entire hopper. That's what we're going to run on the Lone Star 42-inch pellet. And according to Lone Star, it's okay, up to 50% ratio. According to Smokinlicious, their Minuto #4 chips are okay for the Lone Star. So let's find out. We'll see out at the pit when it's time to turn everything on. Lost Canuck here. This is what a 20-pound box of the Smokin Pecan pellets looks like, with mixed 50-50 with the Smokinlicious wood chips. I'm going to take you to the camera and show you what it looks like. Okay, so that's kind of the matrix you get with the pecan shell pellets, and they're from Smokin Pecan. Those things really smoke, so I should get a nice smoky flavor profile from these pellets, and then the chips just add that extra taste. Hey, Lost Canuck here. Well, we got a ton of snow here in Wisconsin last night, so I had to shovel and plow the driveway out before I turned the pit back on. So I'm going to put the brisket on right now. I got it set. I have it set at 200 Fahrenheit. It's 4 o'clock. I'm going to leave it on overnight. When I get up in the morning, I'm going to check the temperature. But let's get that brisket on now and get her all smoked. Now, you can see I got a water pan in here. I'm going to put the brisket on over top, and I got my trimmings over here. I'm going to make some tallow. So pull this out and get that brisket on there. And it's been sweating in the fridge for a couple hours. Now we're going to put the point side towards the hot, the flat towards the cool. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to put my wireless. I've got my RFX gateway set up right here, and then I'm going to take my wireless probes. I'm going to put one in the point here. This is the thickest part, so we'll get her in there nice and thick. There we go. And it's in the minimum insertion, and then I always put one in the flat just to see how the flat's doing while it's cooking. Flat always cooks faster. There she is. Got my pan underneath, catch any of the drippings. Making my tallow. Fat side is, oh, yeah. Okay, fat side is down. So I'm cooking her fat side down. I got a water pan, got my tallow, and you can see in my hopper here, I've got my special 50-50 blend of Smokinlicious Red Oak chips, Minuto #4, and also I've got these Smokin Pecan pellets. So it's a 50-50 mix. I've got more inside, but as you can see, this thing smokes like crazy, so no problem getting smoke on it. So I'll see you tonight. I'll fill the hopper back up. I'll take a look at the bark, maybe spritz it a little bit in a couple hours, and we'll see you later. Lost Canuck out. Alright, well, we're back at the pit, and it's been actually 3 hours into the cook. This thing's, she's really smoking. Got it set down at 200. And smell the pecan. Let's go with 3. Pellets look, supply looks pretty good. You can see my mix of Smokin Pecan and Smokinlicious wood chips at 50%. I haven't had a problem yet. And let's just check the brisket. I'm going to spritz it a little bit. Oh yeah. Bark starting to develop pretty good. Shouldn't really be opening this up for too long. So I'm going to spritz her. How's my water pan doing? Looks good. Tallow's rendering nice. Okay, I'll see you in a minute. Alright, lost Canuck here. Well, it's almost 10 o'clock at night. And this thing's been on since 4, so 6 hours. And I noticed, so I put the point on this side and the flat over here, because this is the hotter area by the burn pot. And the point's really taken off and cooking. So I've turned the pit down to 185, just so it so I can get some sleep, and then when I get up in the morning I'll crank it up. But I'm going to turn the meat around for a couple hours, spritz it, go back inside, and then come out and load some more pellets, because it's sucking the pellets down because it's so cold. So let's turn the meat around, spritz, and go back. I don't know if you can see that bark or not. I'm going to turn this thing right around. A nice mahogany color. Push it back in, close this down. I'm going to load her up with a few more pellets with the wood chip mixture, 50%, and see you in a couple hours. Hey, lost Canuck here. Well, it's pretty dark out here. Back at the pit. Thanks for sticking with the video so far. It's well, a little after midnight. Just checking on the brisket before I go to bed. Still at 185. And I'm just going to flip the point around and the flat, because the flat's starting to cook a little fast. I'm going to spritz it first. Bark's looking great. Alright, it's looking good. Got my tallow rendering down nicely. Alright, let's close this back up. Smoking like crazy. Got lots of pellets in the hopper. So I'll see you when it's light in the morning. Alright, good morning. Lost Canuck here. Well, just hit 8 a.m. I've been monitoring my cook all night using my RFX probes from ThermalWorks. The point, because it's I turned it, if you remember, and it's on the warm zone and the flat's on the cooler zone. So the point's about 156 and the flat's 140. So what I'm going to do before I wrap is do one more flip, get everything evened out, and then I got it still set at 200. And actually my tell-true says 200, so that's a good thing. And man, it was a cold night. It's very cold today. It's about 3 below 0 Fahrenheit. That's about what, minus 21 Celsius. So I'm wearing my toque today to keep myself a little warm. And for people that don't know what a toque is, in the southern U.S., I think you guys call that a toboggan, and up here in the northern U.S., people call it a stocking hat or a beanie. So I call it a toque because, you know, I'm Canadian at heart. So let's use the old, grab the hog lifter here, flip it around, spritz it, and then even it out, and then we'll wrap it. Oh boy, that looks great. Holy cow, I don't know if you can see that with the sunlight hitting it, but that dog wants to lick my big spatula. So we're going to spritz it one very last time. We'll see it probably. I have it 200. I'm going to bring it up to, I'm going to let it even out here for about an hour. Then I'm going to bring it up to 250 so that the internal hits in the 160 range on both flat point. And then I'm going to wrap it and put it back on, and we'll enjoy it for the game. All right, lost Canuck back again. It's time to wrap. The internals have hit in the 160 range. So we're into the stall. I'm going to wrap it up. So I'm going to just check some temps here with my Thermapen. This thing's smoking like crazy. Still with my wood chip mix. I don't know if you can see that, it's so bright outside. Let's get this thing pulled off, put into the pan, bring it inside, get it wrapped up. Okay, I don't know if you can see this, but the bark looks amazing. Okay, let's get some quick temps, put it into the point. What we got here? 159, so it's pretty close. I said 160. The point's probably a little hotter. 180. Okay, so once we, no, it's not probe tender yet. It's 160. So yeah, we're gonna wrap this thing, put some tallow on it, and get her in there. Turn it up to 275 until it's 20, and well, around in the 200 to 205 mark, and then we'll rest it. See you inside. All right, last Canuck here. Well, we're inside the barbecue lab, and it's time to wrap. I showed you a couple. I was about 160 in the point, 180 in the flat, so it's getting pretty even. And I'm going to pull the bark is amazing. It's been on the smoker for 18 hours so far. We will get this wrapped with some tallow. I'm cheating using this Wagyu tallow. So we'll put a couple scoops on the top. It's important you put this on the bottom as well. And again, if you want to know where I'm getting the Wagyu beef tallow, click on the links down in the video description. I get this off Amazon. Delivers right to your door. It's an affiliate link. Again, doesn't cost you anything extra if you decide to order some for yourself. This is good stuff. It's already melting off. So we're going to wrap this, and I've left the RFX probes in so I can monitor the cook. Alright, so I'm going to take the brisket, put it back on, bring it up to 275, monitor the flat and the point internal temps. I'm going to pull this off in between the range of 200 and 205, wherever I can get my ThermaPen in through the paper nice and tender. Okay? So I'll see you when it's time to pull this off. Hey, Lost Canuck, your average everyday barbecue backyard kind of guy, back here at the pit. My RFX probes have told me, the wireless system have told me that we've reached 200 in the flat and the point. Flat's about 5 degrees more than the point. So we're going to take the grill, turn it down to 160 just to let the pellets burn off. It's been running about 20 hours. So we're 20 hours in, and I'm going to take the brisket off. I'm going to put it in my little warming box and let it rest for about 3 or 4 hours before the game. So let's do that. Oh boy, juicy. Yeah, I'm getting stuff everywhere. And it's hot. Okay, I'll have to wipe that off so I don't eat the gasket away. Note to self, don't spill grease on your gasket. Let's put this in the little warming oven. Okay, so we're back at my little Vever warming box. Link to that if you want interested in one. They're not that expensive, and they if you're into barbecue, they'll take a full size hotel pan. I'm gonna turn it on, put it inside. I have it set for 145. I'm gonna actually change that. Set it for 150, and that's where it's gonna head. So it's 75. That's what it thinks it is, anyways. We're gonna leave it in here for 3.5 hours until the game starts, and we're going to bring it out, slice it up on the board, enjoy it. So I'll see you up in the barbecue lab at the slicing board. And welcome to the barbecue lab. The brisket has been resting for about 4 hours now after a nice long 22 hours-ish smoke. So it's still in the wrap. I had it in my little warming oven at 150. It's been resting, so let's unwrap this thing and see what we got. Still pretty hot. Oh yeah. Very juicy. Just take the probes out before I slice. We're going to separate the point from the flat, cut it here, go down here, do our burnt ends, and then slice it this to get our burnt ends off here. So here we go. That's about where the separation point is. Looks pretty good. Nice decent smoke ring. Very juicy. You can see, well, you can see all the juice coming out of here. So let's get some of the flat sliced up. It's well cooked. Heck of a bark on there, that's for sure. Okay, so there's some of the flat burnt ends. Take that off, and I can make some burnt ends out of this. Do some point. If I had better knife skills, I could probably do this a lot easier, but again, I'm just your average. That's the point. There's some point burnt ends, flat burnt ends, a little extra here. So I could probably slice this piece up here. Oh, I guess I should try a little piece. I'll try a burnt end. I like the burnt ends. So good. I like burnt ends, and that's a good one. Good bark. I don't know if you can see the bark on here, but it turned out really nice. So I'm going to take this downstairs and feed our hungry guests. Maybe I'll give a little piece to the dog. You want that? Treat him, because he's been patiently waiting for a piece. And have another piece of the flat. So yummy. The rub really worked. Thanks for watching this far. If you've stuck with the video this far, that's a overnight brisket. Excellent smoke ring. Nice smoky taste. Good bark. I used Smokin Pecan 50%, and the other 50% was Smokinlicious wood chips. Worked out fine, no problems. And again, thanks for watching my channel. I appreciate it if you'd subscribe if you're a first-time viewer. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back. I appreciate it. You can leave me a comment. I answer all my comments down there. And again, if you're interested in any of the equipment that I used for making any of this stuff, again, all the links are below. They're affiliate links. They help the channel grow. They help. You don't pay anything extra for that. So anyways, and if you like this video, why don't you check out some of these videos over here, and see you on the next video. Lost Canuck out.